Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a Social Security disability attorney, and today I'd like to talk to you about an underutilized source of evidence that can really help you win your disability case. And I did a video about this a couple years ago, but I wanted to update it based on something that I read. And as you know, I'm always looking out for things that I think would help you win your disability case. And one of the things I ran across was an administrative law judge discussion forum. And if you don't know what that is, basically administrative law judges talk amongst themselves, and there is a forum out there where they discuss issues relevant to them. And a lot of it has to do with job postings or changes in benefits or salary structures, things like that, that really aren't that relevant to someone applying for disability, but sometimes they get into substantive issues. And I found this, there was a link on a blog that I read. Charles Hall is a disability attorney. I think he's in North Carolina, has a great blog. I'll link to it. You can take a look at that. You should read it if you're interested in disability. And he posts pretty much every day, usually just a tidbit or two about disability, but I learn a lot from it. It's really a great source of information. But one of the links he's got on his blog is an ALJ discussion forum. And so there was a thread there about judges talking about evidence that may be underused or underutilized in disability claims. So I'm just going to read you some of what came from this forum. This is from a disability judge. Again, we don't know who he is. He was speaking anonymously, but he was talking about non-medical evidence. And this is what he said. I assume it's a him. It could be a her. But this is what the judge says. If the person or claimant was working prior to his alleged onset date, the date he became disabled, get work records showing attendance and performance. A person getting good performance reviews and attendance records showing a decline from good attendance to frequent absences or good performance to poor performance has good evidence to present. Further, if the person applied for FMLA, Family Medical Leave, get that documentation as well. More than once, I've seen, and this is the judge talking, buried in 250 pages of records from some doctor that the person had FMLA paperwork filled out and was not later cleared to return to work. You, as the claimant or the attorney, should submit the FMLA paperwork on its own. Don't assume that a judge is going to pour through 200 pages of records to find it. Submit it on its own. Any documentation from an employer about accommodations, special accommodations, giving a person the right to come in late or leave earlier, work at home, or maybe not have to lift or carry or to borrow, I see this occasionally, borrow leave time from a coworker. Those are all accommodations that may not be, may take that person out of competitive work. Information about that is always very good to have, and it's a lot of times in the employment record. My observation, the judge speaking, that many people seem to think that a Social Security disability file should only contain medical information and maybe a statement or two from a friend or family. But in fact, the crux or the main issue in a disability case is ability to work. And employment records are almost never obtained and submitted, but can be extremely useful. Again, not me talking, this is what the judge is saying. And I would add to that, if you can get statements from former coworkers and supervisors talking about your decline in performance, that is equally relevant because, again, it goes to whether or not you have the capacity for work. So in my office, whenever we can, whenever it's available, I will request the employment file. And I will ask my client, get me the names and email and phone number of former coworkers who observed you in your decline, a former supervisor. And a lot of times they will be more helpful than even an employment file because employers are sometimes reluctant to say anything in their official files that would look negative, look in a negative way on you because they're concerned about getting sued for ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, or things like that. But a former coworker or supervisor, they're talking more directly about you, and they might be more inclined to fill this type of thing out. And we can put together sworn statements or affidavits, and that can be very, very useful. So they don't have to be at the hearing, but we can get written statements from former coworkers and supervisors. But employment records can be very, very useful, again, from the mouth of the judge, and it's something that I think that if you can get, it can sometimes make the difference between winning and losing, because again, again, if a judge is only looking at medical records, that may not address your work capacity, but work records do address your work capacity because it obviously makes the difference whether you can continue to work or not. If you were terminated or you lost your job and the record shows a decline in attendance and performance, what more relevant evidence could you have in a disability case? So that's why we want to get that. So I hope you found this helpful and useful to your own case. If you did, please give me a thumbs up on YouTube, like it on Facebook. It really helps me. I really appreciate if you would do that. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Visit my website, ssdanswers.com. You can download my free Secrets to Winning Disability Survival Kit that is delivered by email. It's, I think, up to maybe 20 or 30, maybe 35 installments. I keep adding to it, but a lot of good information there. And if you'd like a case evaluation and you're not represented, I can only help you if you're not already represented, but if you need a case evaluation, you can fill out the form on ssdanswers.com, and somebody from my office will get back to you, and we can take a look at your particular disability case and see if we might be a good fit. So again, my name is Jonathan Ginsberg. I hope you found this all very helpful, and let me hear from you. And until next video, I will talk at you soon. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the survival kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include: how do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to win your case. And a topic that every disability claimant wants to know: how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the Survival Kit essential reading. Download your Survival Kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdanswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.